Hello, this is Tola from Trifold Productions with another Blender quick tip. And in this quick tip, I'm going to show you how you can import cities into Blender fairly easily by using the City Generator Addon. It's not free, but it does a really great job of creating cities from scratch that with really excellent physical textures, physically based textures on the buildings, on the streets, and on the cars. The only thing that I've seen with it is that it's really taxing on your system to a certain extent. So before you download it, make sure you have enough processing power, GPU, CPU power on your system in order for it to run properly, because it can freeze your laptop or your computer if your computer is not strong enough. And the second thing that I've seen with it is that when it comes to the traffic, because it does come with cars and a traffic simulation, but all the cars are the same car. It's just one car that's been multiplied throughout the scene, just a different color, and that's pretty much it. But the price ranges. Let's go to their site here. The personal license is $64. Commercial license is $99. The studio license is $199. So I've got the personal license myself. And I'll leave this link below the video so you guys can download yourselves and check it out. But the installation process is still the same. Once you've downloaded it, keep it in the zip folder. Then go to Edit. And it works in Blender 4.4 all the way up to 4.5. Let me look at their site again. Let's take a look at that. 4.3 all the way to 4.5. I'm using 4.1 myself because this is like an older version of the add-on. They have the newer version, which is 2.0. This is the older version, but it still works the same. It's still the same steps, still the same process. And it renders in even cycles. Now, obviously, cycles looks better, but because of the size of the cities, rendering it in cycles could take a little bit longer, but gives you better results. But once you've downloaded the zip folder, just go to Edit, Preferences, Install. Navigate to the zip folder, click on it, click on Install Add-on. I've already installed it myself, so let me type in City. And here it is, put check in the box, and it's ready to go. And it's right over here on the right-hand side of Blender, the tool panel. And it's got a lot of parameters, but it's all straightforward stuff, and it's really easy to use. You can actually click on a cube or a plane you're seeing and click on Apply City Generator to Active Object, and it'll create a building for you. Don't do it on like Susanna or a circle, because it's based on geometry nodes that are based on faces of your mesh, of your base mesh. Let me press A here. Let's delete all this. And then we're going to click on Import City Generator. It's going to give us a starting point, so let's give it a few seconds. There we go, to propagate. And this is our city. Now the cool thing about this is it's trying to process. It's kind of lag a little bit. That's why I say you have to really have a strong enough computer. My system is halfway decent in terms of processing power, but if you can get a stronger computer, that would help. But as I was saying, if you go to Geometry Settings and click on your building again, you can activate low poly mode, which will get rid of all the little details like the things on top of the roof and so on and so forth. Let's click on that to get low poly mode. It gives us the base mesh. Now, in order to actually pretty much edit the buildings, just press tab on your keyboard and we go into edit mode. And I'm going to, let's divide this in half. Let's press Control on our keyboard to create a loop cut. Left click, and there we go. You can move this around to get different sizes of your city. You can click on any of these elements here, any of these selections here. Let's click on Edit Select. Let's left click here, and then press E to extrude. Left click to confirm that. Let's click on our Move gizmo, and then pull this out, and it creates more cities for us. So it does a really straightforward and great job of creating cities fairly easily, buildings and so on and so forth. Because as you move the geometry around, it creates more trees and cars and things like that, which is very, very nice. Now if we get out of edit mode by pressing tab, we have more settings here. Okay, I thought it froze again, but building settings are here. You can isolate a building to change, just to work on one building if you want to. You can adjust the minimum height. Let's put 2 in here. And it affects the height of the buildings. As you can see, it just went down a little bit. The maximum height, you can change that. Random seed means that it just gives you a different look to your cityscape. If you click in here and press 10, that changes the way the buildings look in terms of height too. So that's pretty nice. You can adjust the random city building shape. Okay, it froze up again. So like I said before, stronger computer, stronger systems. But just don't let it frustrate you. You can still purchase it if you have a halfway decent system. You can still work on, building your city, because I've built a city from scratch before. And it's a pretty tedious process, but this makes it a lot easier because it's got trees, it's got street lights, traffic lights, simulated cars, traffic, and so on and so forth, which is great. But it gives you the ability to randomize the building shapes, minimum, maximum, so on and so forth. You can randomize it, the Z shape also. So it's got a lot of options for randomizing the roof assets. You can adjust those too. The facade settings and so on and so forth, street settings. You've got settings for that. So it's got a lot of options in terms of changing the way things look. Because even on the streets themselves have little minute cracks in the pavement. That gives you a more realistic look. But like I said before, with the cars are all the same. But if you want to have a scene where you're just pretty much above the cityscape, looking down like this, the cars, you can't really see them as being the same. So that's how you want to render it out. But just street level, you just want to kind of avoid that for some scenes, because you don't want people to see that, hey, those are just the same cars, just different colors. Just keep kind of above, like a sky view. You can change the textures on the sidewalks, parking cars, traffic simulation, so on and so forth. You can do a lot of stuff. The developer really, paid attention to a lot of little details. And we'll look at it in texture mode probably towards the end of the tutorial. I don't want to do it now because I don't want to actually cause the system to crash in the middle of the tutorial. But if we go further down, let's minimize this some more. We click on material settings. You can change the material settings for the road, the texture mask, scale, the puddle size. It has puddles in it. The puddle roughness, the scale of the noise, so on and so forth. And it's trying to process again. So yeah, let me just give it a second to do what it needs to do. Oh, there we go. Okay, there it is. So you can change the turn line scale, the turn line randomization. You can do that also. You can change the road markings, brick wall material, car paint. Now the car paint, let me zoom back in. The car paint, it comes with all these colors here, but in order to change the car paint for all the cars at the same time, you just manipulate the color tab here. So you left click here, you can just drag it over. Left click and drag. It just froze up again. There we go. Click and drag this over also. And you can change the color of them. You hold down your middle mouse button, you drag these over. And I'm assuming that the width of the color tab determines how many cars basically have that color. So if we have the white pulled all the way over here, most of the cars will be white. A few of them will be black, some of them will be green, but not as much as the white. So if you want to have just different varieties in terms of the colorization of the cars, you can do that. You can change the color of the cars by just, once you click on a point here, it gives you that color in the color tab. Left click there. Change this to, I don't know, like an off yellow. If you wanted to, you can click on this one, that's a blue color. Click on that, you can turn this to like a, I don't know, vibrant purple color. You can change the metallic, have the cars look shiny, or roughness to make them have more of a matte color. So you can do all that. And you have settings for the lights too. You can turn the night lights on. So if I click on this night lights on button, you'll see there will be point lamps on the street lights. So left click, and there we go. We see the point lights just appeared on the lamps. Cycles, light optimization. This helps, excuse me, helps with the rendering of the lights in your scene. And I was trying to propagate what we just did. So you just give it a second. We have this spinning. There we go. I think it's done. You can change the street light settings to the color of them. Make them whatever color you want them to be. Change the minimum and maximum effects of it. The car light settings also, you can change those too. You have options for that. And all these cars that are moving, the ones that are parked don't move. But when you press play, you'll see that the cars on the streets here, they are simulated, which is great. And if you have a situation here where the cars are kind of driving on the, basically in midair, you can just go to edit mode and stretch out the street a little bit more. That will encompass the cars on the streets. So yeah, this is a really good add-on. It has a lot of options to it. A lot of easy parameters to adjust into sets. So right now, I'm going to just go into full texture mode on the building so we can see what they look like in terms of the PBR aspect of the texture of the building and the streets. Let's cross our fingers and hope Blender doesn't crash. All right, let me go back up here. Let me change the world settings first. Left click there. Turn to like a sky blue color. And then I'm going to turn it to cycles. EV, cycles, CPU to GPU compute. Samples 128, enter. And I'm going to turn off low poly mode. Let's zoom out a little bit so we're going to get a good angle of the buildings. All right, turn off low poly mode. And here we go. We're going to go into cycles so you can see the textures, the detail in the textures when it comes to the buildings. And we'll try to zoom in to see the textures on the road too. Let's give a countdown. 3. Okay, is it still propagating? Okay, just propagating again. Give it a second. Give it a few more seconds here. Come on, Blender. There we go. Countdown time. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. If it takes too long, I'll pause the video and then start it back up again so you can see what the textures look like on the buildings. Okay, it's taking too long, so I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. And yeah, this is what it looks like. I'm going to try to pivot around. Right now I have all the lights on so you can see what it looks like at night. Let me make the background black so the lights can really stand out. Oh, that's too dark. Let me see, let's make it a little bit lighter. Okay, there we go. So as it clears up, you can see the lights on the street here. See the lights in the buildings, so you can change the lights in the buildings. So it has a really nice texture look when it comes to the textures on the buildings. You can see the reflectiveness in the buildings also in the windows. And I'm going to try to zoom in so we can see what the street looks like. So I'm going to scroll up on my mouse wheel, pivot here, scroll up a little bit more. I'm going to zoom into a street here. Let me make it brighter. Let me turn off well, let me leave it as it is. That way it doesn't crash. Let's make it a little bit brighter. Well, let's leave it like this so it can actually clear up the render. Because right now it's still trying to, process everything. Because it has a lot of cracks in the asphalt. It's got trash on the street, so it looks like an actual street. Okay, it turned the lights. I guess it turned off the lights accidentally. But let's give it time to propagate a little bit more time. If it takes longer than it's supposed to, I'll stop the video and come back again. All right, let me pause now and I'll start back up again. Okay, and we're back. It's still a little bit fuzzy. It's still trying to clear up the fireflies, as we call it. But you can see the streets have these little imperfections in them. And the same thing with the sidewalks. When it comes to the trash aspect of it, I'm thinking of another add-on that does the same thing. But this doesn't seem to have trash on it. It has the imperfections, and it has the water puddles in it too. But yeah, this add-on does a great job of simulating a cityscape. Easy to use, taxing on your system, but not that bad. But yeah, the City Generator, great add-on, does a great job with cities and streets and simulation of traffic and trees and things like that. You have your little signs here, traffic lights and signs and things like that actually work great. Yeah, and that's today's tutorial. Quick tip: the City Generator, easy to use add-on. Hopefully you guys will download yourself and check it out. It'll make creating a city fairly easily for you to do. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, adios.